Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Courtney. I'm a flower preservationist and business educator, and I am so excited that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite resin molds and the importance of investing in quality companies for your business. Are you ready? Let's do this. Finding the right molds for your preservation business is super key because you want to make sure that you find molds that are good quality, not only for creating quality products, but also for longevity of the mold itself. Molds can wear out over time, and so the more quality mold that you have, the longer you'll be able to have it and make more pieces with it versus continuously buying molds. So I'm going to show you the ones that I personally like to use, and then I'm also going to show you a few that I had when I very first started my business as well. In front of me, you'll see molds from the three companies that I like to use the best. You've got this one here is from Moldy Molds. They create high quality HDPE molds. This little guy here is from Modern Mold Shop. She makes a lot of molds with silicone, different shapes and sizes. And then these guys over here are all from AAJ Molds. She also makes her molds in silicone. So the reason why I like these three, this one here, the Moldy Molds, I love the way they're designed. Their quality of the walls themselves are really good. I've had this mold probably for the entirety of my business, almost 2 years, and it still looks really good. Even there might be a few scratches on it, but it's like super easy to just polish those off and it looks just fine. But I love the quality of it. It's run by a husband and wife, super sweet couple. They have lots of different sizes, different, you can do blocks, or they've also got some rectangles. I know they just came out with a few new molds for like making trays and things like that as well. So love them. With this one, this is from Modern Mold Shop. She is based in Canada, but does ship here to America, which is great. And I love her products. She uses super high quality silicone. A lot of her bigger pieces that she makes, she puts little plastic walls inside so that the walls don't cave in or out whenever you're making it. So they're super sturdy. She has lots of different shapes available: squares, rectangles, hearts. She's got small sizes, big sizes. She comes in all different ones. She's super great about coming out with new pieces too throughout the year. So she's always making something that I have to buy, which I love about her. And then with AAJ molds, these are also the silicone molds. She makes some similar to what Modern Mold does, but some other different ones as well. She has the letter molds that I really like to use. These are super sturdy. There are other letter molds that I'm sure you've seen on social media that are a little bit more flimsy. So I really like these because A, they're a little bit bigger, and B, the walls are a lot thicker. So again, kind of talking about earlier, having the walls inside, they don't like bow in or out as you use them multiple times. She has lots of cute little different things too. One of the things I was going to talk about in regards to the difference between silicone and HDPE as well is you can see kind of in this one here how the walls have kind of got the little rims on them. That's from the wear and tear of the resin. So that is going to happen with the silicone molds a lot more than the HDPE molds, as they are going to wear out a little bit faster. But again, because we're using more quality silicone molds, they are going to last much longer than ones that you would get on, like, say, Amazon or something like that, or have the super thin walls. Those are going to wear out a lot more. You can get a whole lot more pieces out of these than you will be able to with the thinner ones from like cheaper companies. So these molds are going to be more of an investment for you, but in the long run, because of their longevity and how long they last, how many pieces you can get out of them, it's well worth it to be able to invest in that. And I will show you a few little pieces or little molds that I had when I first started. Just move these out of the way for a second. This mold right here was actually the very first mold that I bought when I started practicing a couple years ago. This is from Amazon. I think it's actually technically a soap mold, and I didn't realize that when I bought it, that it was a soap mold. And so on the inside it's actually matte versus shiny. So that's also something like to think about whenever you're looking for molds, what the inside looks like, if it's a matte finish or a super shiny finish like these. Most of these high quality silicone molds, that you get from the higher end mold companies are going to be shiny on the inside because they're specifically made for resin. So you do want to make sure you check that. But this was the first mold that I bought. It's actually pretty sturdy, believe it or not, for an Amazon mold, but most of the ones that I found on Amazon were probably about like this thin. The bigger you got. The smaller ones were a little thicker. They had a little bit more reinforced walls in them, but the bigger ones were a lot more flimsy, and again had the mat on the inside. But it served me well for my practicing. So if you're just practicing and want to see if like this even is going to work for you, if you're even want to keep doing this, like finding molds like this on Amazon are fine. Just make sure you read the description. Make sure you read the description beforehand. These were also some molds that I got off of Amazon for making coasters or ornaments. You can see that this was shiny. I bought these after I bought this because I realized, So, found out they were shiny and bought them. And while they are great, again, kind of like I was saying, for like practicing and like trying things out, doing your first pieces, they were super great for that. But as you can tell, they're stacked here. Let me get here. You can see how super flimsy this is. Super bendable, which is great for popping them out. But because they were so flimsy, the sides of the walls were like caving in a lot. So I only got to use these maybe a couple of times before the pieces were kind of coming out all like not pretty and like weird shaped. And if you're like me and you hate sanding, then that was just not for me. So that's why I ended up, getting away from these and going to AAJ. Has some really great coaster molds that have the super thick, much thicker obviously than this, thicker wall, so I can get way more coasters out of these before I actually have to start polishing, which is fantastic. So if you are looking to just kind of play around and figure out what works for you, if you even like doing this or whatever, Amazon is a great place to look for molds. Just make sure that you're looking at the size, whether or not it's a matte or shiny finish, if it like gives you any kind of dimensions or like how thick the walls are. Look at things like that. Also read the reviews, see if other people have talked about if they're flimsy or if they're great quality or things like that. But if you're looking to invest in your business and invest in really good molds to last you a lifetime, well, not necessarily a lifetime, but you know what I'm saying. AAJ molds, Moldy, and Modern Mold are really great companies that you can go in. I've got links in the bottom if you want to see in the description to each company that you can find all these molds at. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know in the comments. And if you want to subscribe, just hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.